Welcome to Raw Talk. It looks like my microphone is working. As always, a link down below in the description box if you want to watch this on your own. Watch some of the highlights right from WWE. You don't need a cable or any kind of service provider for that. So Drew McIntyre opened up the show with a promo talking about not having the title that he needs. Nobody needs a title. They want the title. They don't need it to solidify who they are. CM Punk then came out. They exchanged words. This was like really good. Like I said before, Drew is really good on the microphone. 2 weeks from Saturday is the Rumble. This was just overall a great back and forth. Literally, not too many people can do it. There's a few. But Drew, in recent memory, probably not in the first couple years of his career, and that's fine. He's able to go toe-to-toe with Punk on the mic. Then Judgment Day's Grand Slam. Finn went up against the Tomato Champ with Johnny Boy Gargano by his side. Great match as always. Tommaso Ciampa wins. Simple as that. I really like watching them sometimes go one-on-one. I don't always like doing the whole tag thing. However, whatever. Definitely not complaining. I do feel like we're almost at a point where the tag team division is going to be a little bit stronger, and maybe we're going to finally be able to have a dedicated SmackDown, dedicated Raw tag team champion. Backstage interview. Helps if I can speak properly. Backstage interview with Becky in regards to Nia, and simply announces that she's in the Rumble. New Day's Kofi Kingston goes up against Ludwig Kaisermann. Kofi was wearing some baggy shorts, which is unusual because since the dawn of time that he's been wrestling with the company, don't think I've actually ever seen him wear anything but regular wrestling tights or trunks or whatever. It ended up in a double count out. What was really wild here, if you remember, Kofi accidentally took out Giovanni like in real life, but obviously it was an accident in the ring. So they scripted that, and then Ludwig here took a chair, chucked it at his head. That looked like legit. You know what I mean? Like, that did not look fake. And then Orlando Jordan, if you remember him, he suffered, a career-ending injury years ago to his neck. But he came out to try and break it up. And then he had Kofi on the stairs. Did a drive-by drop kick to his head. I'm just saying, that looked like crazy. And then that's where backstage with, I think it was Jackie Redmond, he was like, look, Kofi took Gio's head, and I took Kofi's head. It's like, wow. All right, then. Michael Cole in the middle of the ring calls out Nia Jax. They talk about the Rumble. And then essentially Rhea came out to a loud pop. The crowd loves her. And it's very easy to see why. And it was a nice promo. I'm kind of done with the way Nia Jax does her promos. I'm just kind of like, ugh. But it is what it is. She's getting a big push. And we'll just have to see what happens. I just hope that Rhea Ripley riptides Nia Jax into another dimension. And that's pretty much it. Pretty much it. This was funny. So, well, first we'll get to that. So backstage, Cody Rhodes interview with Jackie Redmond again. Shinsuke Nakamura attacks Cody, because, come on. However, Cody was able to get the upper hand and retaliate properly. The fight breaks out for like 2 seconds, and somehow Pierce is there screaming at the top of his lungs like a lunatic off his meds. And there's like a bunch of officials there. I'm like, did you have this whole thing planned? Well, of course they did. They could have made it look a little bit more organic. Like they're there on standby every time there's a backstage interview. It's like, come on now. The Piper Niven and Chelsea Green versus the KK, a.k.a. Caden and Katana. See what I did there? That was me trying to be funny. And what was funny was, at one point, Chelsea ended up getting the Vader bomb from Piper Niven, and they lost the match. It was just like, wow, are you kidding me? R-Truth explains the love he shares for the Judgment Day. I mean, this vignette thing was hilarious. You have to watch it, and you really do. I love the kind of humor, like that goofy humor that R-Truth does. It's the kind of humor that I do when I do my cringy Batman impressions. I talk about like the most ridiculous things. Like, what are you talking about? Like, just like the goofy stuff, right? And to me, like, if I were to be funny and I was talking with R-Truth and I was like, backstage or whatever with the Judgment Day, talking about JD, which the Miz faced there, and then the truth, and then R-Truth came out to support both JD and the Miz. You'll oftentimes have like, come on, man, you got to get with it to both people. But my favorite member of Judgment Day is R-Truth because he lightens the mood, right? Everybody's like so uptight in the group, and when you really think about it, I mean, R-Truth should be checking Damian Priest's like blood pressure. He should pretend like he's a doctor, come in with the white coat and check his pressure because he's always so amped up. And at the same time, in the voice of R-Truth, imagine R-Truth saying something about, and you, JD, like, what's really surprising about you is your parents did you wrong. Like, you were born, you're their son, and what they do, they just picked two random letters from the alphabet, slapped it together, and said, here you go, son. Like, who does that to their kid? Something along those lines, right? Me, I'm thinking like, the holidays are over now. I thought it was JD, like Jaydee. That would have been a cooler name, like JD, not just two letters, like JD. Like, I don't know, man. For the holiday, if I would have known this beforehand, like I said, I would have bought JD another letter. I would have gotten him like a P. He could have been JDP. It kind of has kind of a flow to it. Maybe that's why I'm not a comedian. But anyhow, I still think it was funny. This was a great match. Like, JD is really good. Like, that corkscrew off the top rope, there's no denying. Like, he's a super tiny guy, but he's really built. Takes working out very seriously. I'd enjoyed the match, like, very much. But it was nice to see that The Miz won against the JD McNugget. And I just really love, like, R-Truth's presence. Like, that comedic element. I don't know. To me, it never gets boring. Obviously, there's always going to be some people that don't like it. That's just the way that it is in general, right? You can't please everybody. Then we had backstage with the Judgment Day, speaking of which they were saying that they're done with R-Truth. They're going to have to talk to JD and Dom about it when the boys get backstage, the clubhouse. The problem is that never came to fruition. So that would have been great to have seen how they were going to handle that. Now we got to wait like an entire other week just to see what's going to come of that. And Seth Rollins came out for a promo about defending the title at the Rumble and at Mania. It's going to be his first time. It would be his first time at Mania going into a WrestleMania as a champion defending. He's cashed in, he's won, but he's never defended at. And then Jinder Mahal came out to talk about being overlooked. Which is interesting because, which is true. I really love Jinder. Don't hinder the Jinder. But he has his Indus Sheer, if I'm pronouncing that right. His tag team, I don't know what's going on with that, but he's their manager. Then all of a sudden we don't really see them. And now we see him coming out week after week, and I'm not complaining. I'm just curious to see what the direction of that is going to be. Like, I don't know. I don't know where that's going. For me, this was probably the highlight of the night. For me, by the way, back with, R-Truth. For a backstage, ringside kind of thing. For an in-the-ring action. Otis versus Ivar. I mean, that was just a wild match. Then Ivar won with the backflip off the top ropes. Just so well executed. They're just so agile. He did like that. Ivar did that like Chris Jericho, Cody Rhodes, jump on the second rope and there's just flip back. And it doesn't look sloppy. It doesn't look all like awkward. It's really, really well done. And then backstage, Jey Uso chats with Big Bronson Reed about getting a singles title in 2024 and how Bronson's like, don't get in my way and all this kind of stuff. Now, we didn't see either of them perform. Maybe they'll face each other at some point. I don't know. Then the last match, which was really good. Don't get me wrong. It was really, really good. Cody versus Shinsuke Nakamura. Yeah, so Ivar defeated Otis, and then Cody defeats Shinsuke Nakamura. Just clean, like just a good match. At one point, Shinsuke ended up poison misting one of the timekeepers or something like that. I almost said the gatekeeper. Which, see, Nakamura misdirected at the ring announcer. I forget who the ring announcer was. It wasn't like... Anyways, whatever. It was just overall, like I said, I enjoyed myself. And like the natural Dustin Rhodes said on Twitter last night, you know, about tribalism and people getting all hog wild with these different shows and what people enjoy. It's like, just enjoy it for what it is. It doesn't matter what the 3-letter acronym is tied to the promotion that you're watching. Every promotion, every superstar, big or small, brings a dynamic to the world of professional wrestling. WCW, WWE, heck, when it was WWWF. That's right, Worldwide Wrestling Federation. Oh boy, I almost butchered that one. It doesn't matter. There's going to be some that are better than others, some superstars better than others. Just take those good moments, enjoy it for what it is. Overall, like I said, I'm just having a blast, really being in tune, watching wrestling week after week, trying to watch as many shows as possible. It's like you know, different type of soap opera. I'm not into watching Days of Our Lives or General Hospital. I'm into this stuff. And no matter the generation or the era that you're in, you're always going to have, at least for me, some people that you just really, really, you know, take a liking to. And that's what I'm really enjoying. There's no Ultimate Warriors. There's no Macho Mans. There's no Shawn Michaels. There's no Undertakers. There's no Stone Colds. There's no Bret the Hitman Hart. Like, there's none of that. There's no Ric Flairs. There's no Hogans. There's no Razor Ramon. Like, I could just go, no $1 Million Man, no Jake the Snake Robber. There's none of those people. No Big Boss Man. There's nobody from that era. Like, they're gone. All the people that I grew up with. In the end, there's still a plethora, a cornucopia, a quiver of new people that come in to help establish a new era. Now it's your Jinder Mahals, your Kofi Kingstons, your Ludwig Kaisers. The Rock is still kind of around. R-Truth, The Miz, a true veteran. Seth Rollins has been around a long while. You know, Cody Rhodes, right, with his brother still in AEW. Like, there's like just a ton of new, fresh people. CM Punk is back, you know, Shinsuke Nakamura. I mean, here's the list here, right? So, yeah, just when people say it's not as good as it used to, great. I agree. It isn't. It's different. It's not as good, but it's still an amazing ride, at least for me. And hopefully many of you are enjoying the product for what it is, despite its shortcomings. There's a lot of things that could be better. And I'm not saying that critiquing the product isn't in order and it's not justified. It fully is. But yeah, the biggest thing is arguing and fighting over what's better. Just enjoy what you enjoy. It's like Xbox versus PlayStation. I own both. I prefer PlayStation. It's better for me, for what I look for in a product. Doesn't mean the Xbox is shit. Okay? Anyways, as always, if you liked the video, thumbs up. It does greatly help support the channel with the algorithm. Thumbs down if you didn't like it. We bend it in half, twist it though, and give a Solo Sokoa Someone Spike in the derriere. And if you want to subscribe to the channel, naturally, that'd be great now, wouldn't it? But if not, whatever. I get it. Thanks for stopping by anyways. Take care, and maybe I'll see some of you in the next one. Bye for now.